What's up, everybody? Aaron D here from www.fantasyfootballaddict.com. What are we doing today? This is you having the second overall pick in a 10-team league. That's right, 10 teams. Or is it this way? Second overall pick. How do I create a draft strategy heading into the draft? This is what you're going to do. If you're using my draft spreadsheet, you're going to go to the draft position keystone. I'm going to go right here to the 10-team league. And there we are. Second overall pick. We're going to highlight that just so we see where we're at. So what we want to do is, and again, whenever you know which pick you have in the draft, whether it's a couple days in advance or it's an hour or two in advance, this is when you're going to start to get your strategy ready. So first off, we want to have two players ready, right? Because you have the second pick. So you need to know two guys that you want to target. For me, I would probably say just in this case, let's say it's David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and highlight those guys in blue. We'll highlight the first round in blue. And since that is a running back that we're targeting, I'm going to change that drop down to RB1 right there. And we'll change this then to wide receiver 1 and this to, wide receiver 2. Good. So there we go. David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell. I know right now I'm going to get one of those two guys. I'm happy with that. But what's next? We want a game plan for the long snake loop back. And what we're going to do is we're going to have 16 players ready so that you're going to have the 16th pick on that loop back. So you want to have 16 players identified, as you can see here. I want to do that in green. So let's just go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I like all of these 8 running backs, let's say. So I'm going to go ahead and change those guys to green. Let's look at the wide receivers. So we have, again, we just have 8 guys that we chose there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now 9 with Antonio Brown, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we'll highlight those guys in green. So we still need 2 guys. So let's say Gronk, we add him to the list 15. So what do we want to do? Who else do we like here? Do we like Miller, Hilton? Do you really want to go running back there? Quarterback. I don't personally. So I might very well lean towards Lamar Miller for that one. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if I'm going running back in the first round, do I really want to get into another running back there? So just for the sake of argument, we're going to go ahead and highlight Hilton. So there we go. Now we know for round 2, this is sort of who we're targeting. And then we're going to keep on going with this exercise, because if you have the second pick, that means you're going to have a quick turnaround. There's only going to be 1, 2, 3. You're going to get a third player. So better be ready to pick on that loop back. It's going to be a quick loop back. So I'm going to say maybe Kelsey, Thomas, or Baldwin. And I'm going to use this gold orange sort of color there for those guys. Now, let's go ahead and play out the draft, because it's also possible that when you do get to that loop back pick, you might not even need to get any of these 3 guys. Perhaps some of these guys are still going to be available. So let's just role play it out real quick for you. Let's say the first overall pick, that guy takes David Johnson. So the way I like to do it is I'll change the picks that everybody else takes to red. That means red is unavailable for me. And the picks that I take, I like to make yellow. And then it stands out to me very clearly, yellow are the guys on my team. So right then and there, I'm going to go ahead and change round 1 to yellow. I've already completed that. So now there are still 8 more picks in this round. So let's just assume, somebody goes for Antonio Brown with the 3rd pick. 4th pick, somebody takes Julio Jones. 5th pick, Elliott. 6th pick, McCoy. 7th pick, Odell. 8th pick, AJ Green. 9th pick, somebody takes Melvin Gordon. Let's say the 10th pick, oops, and look at me, I've been highlighting in the wrong color, so we're going to change those to red. My apologies on that. Boom, those are all red. So we're at the 10th pick. Let's say the guy at number 10 takes Gronk, and then on the loop back, he decides to take, he's going to go Jay Ajayi. So now we're on the loop back, right? That guy just took his 2 picks right here. So now we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more players come off the board before it's my pick. So let's just say the next guy takes Freeman. That's 1. 2 with Nelson. 3, Howard. 4, Fournette. 5, Gurley. 6, Michael Thomas. And what do we say? There was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right, 7. So we'll take 1 more player off the board, and we'll just say that's Dez Bryant for this example. So in this example, here you are, you're at your 2nd pick, and you're going to have a quick turnaround on the loop back for your 3rd pick. So it looks like there's a chance that you're maybe even going to get somebody you identified for your 2nd rounder at the 3rd round pick. So let's say, just for argument's sake, we take Mike Evans with the 2nd round pick. So we're going to highlight that one in yellow. Round 3, let's just say that the next guy up takes, and again, this is going to be the guy who picked first, so he's going to go back-to-back picks. So let's just say he takes, I didn't mean to do that, we're going to take DeMarco Murray for that guy, and on his loop back, okay, now he has 2 running backs because he took David Johnson, now he just took DeMarco Murray. So let's just say that he's a big Amari Cooper fan. He has him rated higher. So that guy with the 1st pick is going to take Amari Cooper on his loop back. So now, here you are, your round 3 pick. What do you want to do? Do you want to take a Lamar Miller, or do you want to stick with what your original process was, which was you identified T.Y. Hilton? So the other thing to think about here, and again, Doug Baldwin was another guy you identified for your 3rd round pick, so you could even think about him. And here's what I would say. Mike Evans, bye week number 11. We see that clearly with my system. T.Y. Hilton, bye week 11. Not that you should necessarily pass on Hilton because he has the same bye week, but at the same time, you definitely, if you do take Hilton, you need to be very careful about what you do with the rest of your wide receivers. So it's just something to think about, and a good reason that we use this spreadsheet system so we can see the bye weeks clearly. So in this case, we'll just say, okay, fine, I'll take Hilton, and that's the end of it. Now we've gotten our round 3 guy. I ended up with 2 top 10 wide receivers, and obviously one of the best running backs in all fantasy football. So that's a pretty good take for my first 3 picks. And what you do now is you just keep on doing it out. So for round 4, you can just reuse the blue, and you're going to be back to picking 16 players, right? So you have to go back and just identify the next crop of 16 players that you're going to be looking at for when it loops back around. So you have plenty of time to do that, right? And you can do this on the fly during your draft. You really only need to vision board those first 3 rounds prior to the draft. And then once you're into your draft, once you have that wait period, especially with the second round pick, you're going to have a nice wait period there. So that's when you can start to use that vision boarding process to keep going, identify the people that you want to take with that fourth pick and the fifth round pick, because it's a quick loop back. And you just keep on doing that. Even down in the later rounds, you want to keep on using this technique. And if you do that, you're going to have a strong, a deep draft, and it's going to be way better and way more prepared and accurate than any draft you've ever had in the past. So that's it for this one. As I said, we just did a 10-team league draft where you have the second pick. Good luck in your draft, and stay tuned for my next series.